This is not striking, this is not wrestling, this is not grappling, this is MMA. And yes, I do think his wrestling is phenomenal. But when the night comes, it's not about teaching him a lesson. It's about proving once again that I will be the greatest of all time.
The Khamzat fight's what I want. I want to take his it's not even a doubt in my mind. Khamzat is a strong guy, but I know for a fact that he's never felt power like this. In this case, he has become and I have a tank when it comes to his strength. So there's not a middleweight that's going to overpower me. It's not going to happen. Once it goes past round 2, it's going to be smooth sailing.
Dricus Du Plessis has just issued a final warning to Khamzat Chimaev ahead of their upcoming clash. Dricus Du Plessis also spoke highly of Khamzat Chimaev's grappling skills, calling them top tier and extremely impressive. He also acknowledged the elite abilities of other fighters in the division, mentioning Israel Adesanya's striking and Sean Strickland's boxing as standout qualities that have earned them success. Still, Du Plessis pointed out that this sport isn't about excelling in just one area, it's about mastering the full spectrum of mixed martial arts, where versatility matters most.
Each wrestling is world class, it's phenomenal, but so is Israel Adesanya's striking, right? And so is Sean Strickland's boxing, world class. Adesanya's striking, world class. His kickboxing record speaks for itself. This is not striking, this is not wrestling, this is not grappling, this is MMA.
He also made it clear that while he respects what Khamzat brings to the octagon, his focus is on proving that he belongs among the all-time greats. He admitted that Khamzat has delivered dominant performances and lives up to the hype surrounding his wrestling, but reminded everyone that how a fighter performs often depends on who they're facing. According to Du Plessis, an athlete can only perform as well as their opponent allows, and in his case, he won't give Khamzat that opportunity. He added that while he might let someone have moments of success, he will never allow them to leave victorious, no matter how skilled they are.
Yes, I do think his wrestling is phenomenal. But when the night comes, it's not about teaching him a lesson. It's about proving once again that I will be the greatest of all time and doing whatever I have to prove that. Because yes, I know his wrestling is great. It is 100%. He's proven that. I mean, look at his performances. But you're only as good as your opponent lets you. And I won't let you look good. I can let you look good, but I can't let you win, unfortunately.
In an earlier interview, Dricus Du Plessis shared his thoughts on the matchup with Khamzat Chimaev, predicting that while Chimaev will probably secure a takedown, he'll have to contend with Dricus' own ground abilities and work hard to keep him down. Du Plessis expressed strong belief in his own wrestling skills, saying he isn't fazed by Khamzat's grappling and even feels confident in his ability to take Chimaev down as well. He noted that a lot of fighters make the mistake of staying away from grappling exchanges with Khamzat, but he trusts his own capability to hold his own on the canvas.
Is Khamzat going to be able to take me down? Absolutely. Absolutely he'll be able to take me down. This is how a fight works. I would hope so. Isn't he like some Swedish champion or something? I would hope he could take me down. But then he has to deal with me on the ground and he has to keep me there. Can I take Khamzat down? Absolutely. Am I going to take Khamzat down? Absolutely. I'm not scared of Khamzat wrestling. I'm not evading. I'm not trying to stay off the ground with Khamzat. That's the mistake everybody makes.
Moreover, Luke Rockhold shared his perspective on the matchup, praising Khamzat Chimaev for his strong wrestling, impressive ground control, and constant pressure. However, he also pointed out that Chimaev has a tendency to slow down as the fight progresses, which was noticeable in his matchups with Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns. Rockhold, who has trained extensively with Dricus Du Plessis, said Dricus is not someone who fades easily. He warned that if Chimaev is unable to get an early finish, the later rounds could become a serious challenge.
Khamzat is very good at wrestling. He's very good on the ground. He's very good at pressure. The longevity of the fight, it hasn't been his best approach. So you see with Usman, you see with Gilbert, tough test. I've put a lot of rounds in with DDP, and he don't go away. So unless he gets to him early, it's gonna be tough late.
Luke Rockhold also mentioned that if the fight goes long, it could shift in Dricus Du Plessis' favor. He explained that Dricus is the kind of fighter who can absorb early pressure and continue moving forward. According to Rockhold, that level of determination is what defines a true champion, and it is a major reason why Dricus is currently leading the division.
So if he doesn't put him away early, it's a DDP type of fight.
I think that's the way the DDP goes. You know, he manages to get through, weathers the storms, and he keeps going. That's what champions do, and that's why DDP's on top.
However, Dricus Du Plessis expressed that successfully defending his title for the third time would mark a major step in his journey toward becoming the greatest middleweight in history and the best version of himself. He stressed that it is not just about how many times the belt is defended, but about the caliber of the opponents he faces. This upcoming defense holds deep importance for him, and he is fully focused on walking out of the cage with his title still in hand. He made it clear that the championship doesn't define who he is, but how he performs in the octagon does.
Absolutely. I think and especially, I always say it's not just about defending about who you defend it against. And yeah, defending it this third time would mean the absolute world to me, and believe me, I'm going to defend it. I'm going to defend it. This, win or die trying. I said, there's no way. I'm not leaving wherever this fight is without my belt. There's no way. The belt doesn't define me. My performance defines me, and unfortunately, for me to be defined, this is the personification of that. This is just a metaphor of chasing greatness and being the greatest.
Lastly, Du Plessis described the belt as a symbol of his pursuit of excellence rather than the final goal. He said he already considers himself the top middleweight in the world and now has another opportunity to show it. While he's proud of what he has accomplished so far, he explained that his ultimate mission is to be remembered as the greatest ever. To make that vision a reality, he aims to put on the most impressive performance of his career in his next fight and further cement his place in history as a future Hall of Famer.
Right now, I'm the best middleweight in the world, and this is what I get to prove that. But I have a lot of goals. A lot of them have been reached, but I have a few more. And being the greatest of all time is the final goal. And for me to achieve that goal, I need to go out there and put on the best performance of my life. And that's what I'm going to do.
Moreover, Arman Tsarukyan commented on Khamzat Chimaev's strategy against Dricus Du Plessis, saying it should be straightforward since Dricus tends to use the same game plan in every fight. Referring to Dricus' offer of $10,000 for each takedown, Arman said that the real difficulty isn't taking him down, but managing to keep him on the ground. He added that if Dricus truly honors that offer, Khamzat will keep taking him down over and over and take full control of the fight.
He does every fight the almost same things, and he's not gonna change anything. Just take him down. It's not difficult, but hold him is more difficult. So, but if he's really thinks like he's gonna pay his 10,000, he's not gonna make money from that fight. He's gotta give all his money to Khamzat.
Tito Ortiz shared his prediction for the fight between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus Du Plessis, saying he expects Chimaev to overwhelm Du Plessis with relentless pressure and wrestling. Although Ortiz respects Du Plessis as a fighter, he believes this matchup will be a tough challenge for him. Ortiz sees Chimaev controlling the pace through takedowns and finishing the fight somewhere between the 3rd and 4th rounds. He complimented Chimaev's aggressive approach and his ability to shoot from distance with precision.
How do you predict that fight plays out?
People are going to see how vicious Chimaev truly is. I respect the guy. He's a monster. Du Plessis, the champ, I think he's in him for a rude awakening because he's going to realize that his wrestling is not as good as Chimaev's truly is. And it was heartbreaking for me in that middleweight division because when Bo Nickal got picked apart his last fight.
Ortiz also took a jab at Bo Nickal for not using his wrestling effectively, pointing out the contrast with Chimaev's well-rounded game. He explained that Chimaev mixes his striking and grappling better than most, and mentioned that Rampage Jackson, after training with Chimaev, referred to him as the real deal. Ortiz added that Chimaev has been looking sharp while training at Jackson's gym in California.
Why didn't you wrestle? You're one of the best guys in the world in wrestling. Use your wrestling. And that's what all the Russians do. They use their wrestling to set up punches. They use their punches to set up the wrestling. And then they take people down and they choke them because they're really good at it. I think Chimaev, I would give it maybe 4 rounds, 3 to 4 rounds. I think Chimaev just overwhelms them too much. I think that's my opinion. Once again, I watch him. I watch Chimaev. I just see how tough he is, and I know he had training camp actually at Jackson clothing company or Jackson in
California,
correct? And was it
with Bear and Rampage is also there.
Yep. And so I know he's doing really well. I talked to Rampage. Rampage goes, no, he's the real deal, Tito. I go, I see him. Like, I watch his fights and how vicious. I mean, he can shoot a double leg from half the cage and still take a guy down. He's just very vicious.
TJ Dillashaw shared his thoughts on the matchup between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus Du Plessis, saying that Chimaev holds the advantage in striking, grappling, and jiu-jitsu. However, he did admit that cardio has been a weakness for Chimaev in the past. Dillashaw revealed that he introduced Chimaev to Sam Calavita from the training lab, who previously helped him with his own conditioning and performance. He believes that with Sam's guidance, Chimaev's cardio and weight management will significantly improve, giving him a major edge in the fight.
I was like, look, Chimaev's the better striker in my opinion, technically. He's by far the better grappler and has more strength and better jiu-jitsu. Like, DDP is nonstop pressure. He's awkward, and that awkwardness gets it done. I'd say the reason why Chimaev won't win is because of his cardio. I said that before, right? And then I met him, and I introduced him. So this guy, Sam Calavita, that I'm talking about, he owns Training Lab. He's the one that gave me my bro science PhD and everything I'm talking about now, and I did it in his garage. So I learned everything you could possibly learn about peak performance and how to get your body there. Well, I introduced Armin to Sam Calavita, which has been working with him, and you've seen the way he's been looking lately. But now I've also introduced Chimaev to him.
Dillashaw described Calavita's training environment as intense and gritty, with strength and conditioning sessions held in a garage filled with elite fighters. He said Chimaev has now joined the same training regimen and expects his endurance to be on a different level. Dillashaw also praised Calavita's unique water displacement techniques used during weight cuts, which he believes will help Chimaev perform at his absolute best on fight night.
Sam Calavita's got like some killers in his garage. He does all of his strength conditioning in his garage, which is amazing. It's like Rocky style training. So Chimaev's doing it right now. I highly suspect he's gonna have an amazing, get a gas tank for this next fight, and I think he's gonna get the win because of it. Not only does Sam train you the right way to be this freak of cardio, but he also is gonna help him make weight very easy. Sam's algorithms on the water displacement that he's got is next level. He'd always have me show up to fight week. I fight 135s, he'd have me show up to fight week, so that's what, 5 days before, or 7 days before on Sunday. As long as I weigh 150 and I'm hydrated, I know I've made weight. Now it's just about water displacement and doing it the right way. And he's gonna do the same thing for Chimaev. So he's gonna make the weight better, which in turn is gonna make his cardio better, and he's gonna train the right way. With all the stuff that I know now, everything that I know is because of Sam Calavita. And that's what Chimaev's doing right now.
Robert Whitaker predicted that Khamzat Chimaev will likely go for an early takedown against Dricus Du Plessis, but cautioned that if Chimaev fails to secure a finish, the momentum could shift. He pointed out that Du Plessis often gets stronger as the fight goes on and becomes a bigger threat in the later rounds.
I think Khamzat will take Dricus down, but I believe, and this is obviously just top of the head, if Khamzat doesn't finish Dricus when he takes him down, I don't think he wins that fight.
Whitaker described Du Plessis as a fighter who doesn't slow down. He said Du Plessis gains confidence and rhythm as the rounds progress, making him harder to handle the longer the fight lasts.
Dricus is one of those dudes that doesn't go away, and he gets better, if anything, over the rounds. He's just so resilient. So if you don't get him out of there, I don't see him beating him.
Henry Cejudo praised Khamzat Chimaev for his skill in taking control early in fights, especially highlighting his impressive performance against Robert Whitaker. However, he cautioned that Dricus Du Plessis posed a significant challenge due to his non-stop pressure, unpredictable pace, and ability to wear down opponents. Cejudo admitted that he previously thought Du Plessis fought recklessly, but now sees him as a dangerous competitor who demands a carefully planned, full 5-round game plan.
Does Khamzat beat DDP? Man, Khamzat could beat anybody in the world in about a round. It's super impressed with what he did to Robert Whitaker. I don't see that against DDP. DDP's scrambling, man. You're gonna need to really be able to pace yourself for 5 rounds. And with DDP's train just continue to keep rolling, and he's still steaming and his train's still hot. It depends on how long DDP wants to take a break, you're gonna have to prepare, man, for a guy like DDP. You're gonna need a 3-rounder, a 5-rounder to get ready, but I don't see it. I just don't see it. I think DDP's too. I used to think he was the sloppiest thing on planet Earth, and I thought the same thing about Rob until they bring that volume and just the tenacity. It changes everything.
Caio Borralho confessed that he frequently places bets against Dricus Du Plessis, yet Du Plessis continues to defy expectations when it matters most. He gave Khamzat Chimaev a 60% chance of finishing the fight early, likely within the first 2 rounds thanks to his relentless pressure. At the same time, Caio believes there is a 40% chance that Du Plessis can withstand the early onslaught by relying on his size and physical power, eventually turning the tide as the fight progresses.
Bro, this is crazy because I always bet against DDP and he always shut in my mouth. But I'm feeling like this can be a fight as fast as the fight with Khamzat and Whitaker, like finishing the first round or beginning of the second round, you know. 60% of me say that Khamzat will finish this fight like real fast, but 40% says that Dricus, with his size and height and his weight, he's a big guy for the division. I think he can stop the takedowns or even survive the first 2 rounds, and then the fight gets better for him. So I'm 60-40 on these 2 options.
Belal Muhammad pointed out that Khamzat Chimaev's conditioning often doesn't get the recognition it deserves. He agreed with Khabib Nurmagomedov's view that if Khamzat opts to trade strikes standing with Dricus Du Plessis, he has a good chance to succeed. While acknowledging Du Plessis' unique style and his ability to wear down opponents, Belal also noted that Du Plessis tends to take a lot of damage in the process. He believes Khamzat should stay patient, conserve his energy early, and focus on gradually breaking down Du Plessis. Overall, Belal considers Khamzat the more precise and efficient striker between the two.
Who do I got, DDP or Chimaev? Honestly, I mean, I think too many people are counting out Chimaev's cardio. I think where Khabib said it best, if he stands up with him and strikes with him, I think he'll do well. DDP is an awkward style, but he does get hit a lot. And he breaks a lot of guys with fatigue. If Chimaev doesn't come out super hard in the first round, trying to take him down and letting out all his energy, I think he'll be fine if he keeps it standing. And then maybe the later rounds, you try to wear on him a little bit, but you don't want to go out for that kill in the first round. And DDP just plays defensively. He's strong, obviously. And then you end up burning yourself out for 4 rounds. So he needs to be smart, especially in this 5-round fight. But I got Chimaev. I think Chimaev's a lot crisper on the feet and definitely crisper on the ground.
Jason Mayhem Miller analyzed the matchup between Dricus Du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev, describing it as a challenging puzzle for Du Plessis to figure out. He emphasized Chimaev's powerful combination of striking influenced by European kickboxing and top-level grappling, which makes him a well-rounded threat. Mayhem questioned whether Du Plessis can keep up during scrambles, avoid takedowns, and find openings in striking while pressing forward. He also pointed out that conditioning could be a key factor in determining the outcome of this intense battle.
This kind of thing is, all right, so now do you counter wrestle? Do you find your striking exchanges working when you push the guy backwards? And can you do that without overshooting and getting taken down? Do you want to get taken down and make a scramble and this? No, probably not. Du Plessis has work cut out for him. Like, he has to kind of figure this enigma out of a dude who can kickbox pretty good with this European style kickboxing and also really high level grappling. I don't know. I think it'll come down to who's in the best shape, who's the best conditioned. That's really the end of that. Happy birthday, August 16th. We're going to see that one.
Mayhem slightly favored Chimaev, citing his lifelong experience in grappling that gives him a calmness and efficiency many fighters lack. This background helps Chimaev save energy and stay composed in grappling exchanges where others might tire out. While respecting Du Plessis' strength and grappling skills, Mayhem noted that Du Plessis' size seems more the result of muscle mass than natural frame, which could work against him in prolonged grappling battles. He suggested that if the fight turns into a grind, Chimaev might have the advantage and pull out the victory.
Chimaev, you know, because he has like this special ingrained, and I say this because you start the kids young and they just get a little extra something. You know, there's a little bit of extra feel. There's another 10,000 hours put on top of their athleticism because they've been doing this for so long, grappling especially. And Du Plessis is an excellent grappler, but what it comes down to is being able to relax during those grappling exchanges and not use that much energy. His body is big, but he's like a bigger human being, not necessarily just a big muscle-bound guy like Du Plessis. Like Du Plessis has the frame of a lighter man, but has put on muscle to compete at the higher weight class. Chimaev might have an edge. Might be an upset there.
Sean O'Malley shared that the upcoming fight between Dricus Du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev is just weeks away, and he's really fired up for it. And he mentioned rewatching the Du Plessis versus Adesanya bout before training and noticed how strong Izzy looked, controlling the fight until things fell apart in the 4th round. That fight, he said, highlighted just how dangerous Dricus can be, which makes him even more eager to see how Du Plessis will perform against Khamzat.
DDP versus Khamzat. What is that, like 2-3 weeks? Like,
yep.
Holy. I just actually watched DDP versus Israel this morning before practice. And dude, Izzy was looking so good in that fight. Like, I remember watching it and thinking, like, I only had rewatched it just this one time, but watching it live, I remember thinking like Izzy looked good, and I kind of, for the most part, dominating the fight. And then that 4th round just kind of got hit up top on the head and just, went downhill real fast from there. But God, Izzy was looking good in that fight. So I'd like to see Izzy come back. Izzy versus Sean 2 would be sweet. But yeah, Khamzat versus DDP is very exciting for me right now.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about their fight? We would love to hear your thoughts on this fight. So share your thoughts in the comment section, and also make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also check out our other videos on the screen.